Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chelsea Explained. And we got some breaking stories because both Disasi and Tosin could actually leave in this January transfer window. And I'm also going to talk briefly around Shaloba, Morgan here, and my thoughts around the recruitment strategy so far. And it's fair to say that sporting directors and owners deserve criticism yet again because I don't know how much money they have spent on trying to build a solid defense, and now we are left with 3 out of 4 defenders in a back line that are from Cobham. In terms of James, Josh from the academy, we now recall Chaloba and also Colwill, and that tells you all you need to know about the talent we have in Cobham that we're producing, and it also tells you a lot about the recruitment that has been going down. I don't know how much money we have spent on the likes of Disasi, Badashile, Fofana, and 2 of them is constantly injured, and Disasi hasn't really lit up fire here at Chelsea. So the first story is around Disasi, and the article is mentioning that Chelsea are open to letting Disasi go, but there has so far not been any significant breakthrough on his future. But a few clubs has been asking information around him, including the likes of Atalanta, Juventus, Leverkusen. I think even Villarreal could be interesting for a loan move. But there hasn't been any bid, so to say, yet, but we could look out for that in the coming days. Now, Fabrizio Romano is coming with different information. Now, Fabrizio Romano has actually lots of credibility for me because he has more often than before getting things wrong now. Mentioning here that Juventus has not contacted Chelsea, despite reports saying so. So I'm just taking this with a pinch of salt, and we have to wait and see. But Romano can confirm that Chelsea are looking to offload Disasi. This is coming from Mike Keegan, exclusive. Brighton express interest in Chelsea's Tosin. No decision from Chelsea yet. This move would generate instant profit, which is what the owners is putting first ahead of winning trophies and giving what the manager wants, as we already know. And Tosin would make a lot of profit because we assigned him on a free deal because his contract expired. So they want to cash in as soon as they have the chance to do so. So Fabian Hirsch's Brighton side is looking for a new centre back because Igor is out with a hamstring injury and could potentially undergo a surgery, and they need to replace him. And I understand why they're going for Tosin, who is experienced in Premier League, who is 27 years old, who is in his prime now, strong in the air, decent defensively. He's a good figure to have in the team, professional. So I understand why Brighton is going for him, and I can also understand, why teams in Italy and Bundesliga, La Liga, looking for Disasi, because I think Disasi's biggest strength is in possession, finding those passes. I think he has decent vision and playing in a high tempo, but he can be susceptible to making errors and making mistakes, and he can be in the wrong position defensively wise. So if I'm going to briefly give you my thoughts around them, I would accept both of them leaving because I feel like maybe we shouldn't even have signed them in the first place. The best thing, is if we cash in on them already, we're getting money and then we can reinvest that into the team. We have been linked with Mark. Is he someone we could reinvest into, or could we be a little patient and wait and purchase an elite center back in the summer? Maybe, but our owners is not looking to purchase elite players. They're looking for the next hidden gem or a player that makes sense and fits the model, the wage bracket, and all this kind of stuff. Even if we're selling the Disasi and Tosin, who is few of those senior players in the team, I have little confidence that we're going to replace them with better players. I have to be honest. I pray we can find great center backs that making sense and that Maresca wants, because you need to back the manager. But I have little confidence there. As much as Disasi, Tosin, other guys in this team deserves criticisms, I have also been reflecting on why we have seen poor performances from some of these guys. If we're looking at last season under Pochettino, when Guston James was out, Pochettino put Disasi as a right back. And let me ask you this, how did that go? It did not go well. But Pochettino was stubborn and continued to force him in that position. And of course, Disasi was then going to play very bad. The same goes this season, except that Disasi maybe is an inverted fullback, but sometimes you see him bombing out and trying to assist the winger, and he cannot do that role. He doesn't have the pace and agility to track back and defend in wide areas. I see Disasi's best position as a centre back in the middle of a back three or in a back two. I don't really like that he's bombing up and down, but Maresca has continued to force Disasi there when he can see that he cannot fill that role, and that's why I believe we have seen inconsistency in Disasi's game, and that's why I don't only want to blame him. I think there's a responsibility from everyone here. Why is Maresca forcing players in certain positions they cannot execute? But at the same time, why has the owners and directors constantly chopping and changing players and managers? Because if you're changing managers every season, they're going to have different style of plays, different ideas. They're going to put the players in different positions. And some players are adaptable. Some players can fill different roles. They can work in different style of plays. But on the opposite side, on the other side, some players cannot do that. And I believe Disasi is one of these guys, as well as Tosin. So it completely baffles me that we have chopped and changed managers and players, because you can't build consistency. The players cannot build consistency in their game if they're constantly playing in different ways, in different roles every season. I think Disasi has become a victim in that, and everyone is looking to blame him. I think it deserves some criticisms. I understand that, and I think we can definitely find better center backs. But I wouldn't only blame on him. We need to look at the whole picture. That's my thoughts around it and what I have been reflecting upon. Continues further from Liam Twomey that Enzo Maresca has not been entirely convinced by Tosin and Disasi. That's why I continuously to explain that you need to back a manager. He will not get it right every single time. That's not possible. Pep Guardiola gets it wrong sometimes. But you're definitely not going to get it right if you're purchasing players a manager never asked for, or that doesn't suit their way of playing, if that makes sense. I mean, if the sporting directors, if the owners hasn't learned anything by now, and if they can't solve this situation and help Maresca, then they're never going to learn. And I don't even think they want to learn, because in their mind, making profit and earning money is the most important thing. I'm gonna briefly talk about Chalobah and Guehi before ending the video. And PYS has retweeted something from The Athletic. Outsiders have perceived the recall of Chalobah as an admission of embarrassment of the squad planning by Winstanley and Stewart. That view is not shared by the hierarchy. It's not shared because in the sporting directors and owners' mind, they never do something wrong. That's what they think. It is a complete embarrassment how they treated Chalobah, which I mentioned in my previous video, so I'm not gonna dive into that deeply. Yeah, if they, and it's really weird that they have already in their mind, they have already decided, despite recalling Chalobah, despite Maresca hasn't utilized him and assessed him in games, they have already made up their mind that they're gonna sell him. Because he's from Cobham, he's English, and it's pure profit. Money goes first. It continues here. The evaluation last summer was that Chalobah would be behind Fofana and Colwill. I can understand that. But they also explained that he would be behind Tosin and Disasi, and maybe even Achimpong, who is emerging. That is just simply lies. But they're feeding this agenda because they want to save time. And they're trying to portray Chalobah as, oh, he doesn't suit the style of play, or he's not good enough, and therefore we're selling him. But the truth is they want the pure profit, the money. So yeah, Chalobah has been treating really bad, and I hope he can prove everyone wrong. Now, if Chalobah cannot execute his role in Maresca's system and he's not performing, then I understand they coming with the solution of, all right, we're gonna sell him in the summer, it didn't work out. Then I would accept that to some extent. But how can you come to terms with that you're gonna sell him in the future when the manager hasn't even utilized him yet? Maresca has zero power in this team. And I briefly want to just touch upon Mark Guehi. This is coming from Sami Mokbel. Chelsea learned that Guehi's wages would be around 170,000 a week, which, given the salary structure implemented by Todd and Clearlake era, would make the centre-back one of the best paid players in the team. I don't even know where is the sources that Mark Guehi has even asked for this amount of money. Again, I just think they're feeding this briefing and PR for us to believe that, oh yeah, he's asking for this crazy amount of money, but he's barely earning anything at Palace. We could easily just double his wages and he will earn just 100k a week. So these reports, I would be very careful of believing them completely. The amount of PR and briefing we're getting, some of these stories is just made up and portraying a false narrative. Would I take Mark Guehi? I think he's an upgrade over Tosin and Disasi for sure. Mark Guehi knows Chelsea. He's a Chelsea boy and was in academy before. But he adds something a backline needs. And Maresca has mentioned that he likes the player. He adds leadership. He's a captain. He likes to command the backline. He's calm, composed, and collected. He's good in possession, and despite him being not so tall, he's winning more aerial duels than Colwill, Disasi, and Chalobah. So it's not only about height, it's also about strength, jumping, reading of the game, and anticipating when you're gonna jump, make that jump, and win the header. I would take Mark Guehi, but I will wait till the summer because he's valued around 50-60 million. I think in the summer he will be affordable for half that price, because he will only then have 1 year left on the contract. So that's what I would do in terms of Mark Guehi. So this is it for the video. Let me know all your thoughts around Disasi, Tosin, Chalobah, Guehi, and the recruitment that has been going down from the board and owners. And I will happily read it and we continue the discussion there. So if you're brand new here, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my page, hit that notification bell, and Chelsea Explained is out.